So before I start talking about how automation helps is going to help the retail industry in regards to their compliances, I would like to bring to your attention one of a recent survey done by the Economic Times, which brings out a very staggering number. It says that 92% of the retail industry is flying blind when it comes to your compliances. We talked about how we are going to expand the business, what are the new transformations that are going to be there, how it's going to help bring in more revenue. But please understand, if you are caught at the wrong side of the law in terms of your compliances, all your business plans, everything comes to a standstill. So how is automation going to help you in doing that? So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce my organization, India's #1 tech-driven compliance company, Aparajitha Corporate Services. We are a 22-plus-year-old organization serving clients across India and also globally. Now, before I get into the point of why compliance is necessary or why automation is necessary, we need to understand why is that 92%. Yes, everyone wants to be at the right side of the law. So why is that 92%? That's because basically one of the primary reasons is how our legal framework is structured. You will agree to the fact that the legal framework that exists today, if not the most, it's one of the most complex structures that we have. Here, if you want to start a business, especially when it comes to retail industries, one side of the law or one state would say this act is applicable to you if your number is crossing this. One state would say, no, your number is because of this reason, this act is applicable to you. Okay, the act might be the same. One will say, in order to comply with that, you need to give me this information. One would say, in order to be compliant, you need to give me this information. And then you look at the retail industry, the spread, the number of licenses that are involved. All this makes it very complex for an organization to manage their compliances in an efficient manner. Hence, automation is very important when it comes to your compliances. Now, when you choose an this is just a number that I have to just put it across, like how many acts are there, how many tasks are there. So imagine an organization having at least 10 outlets. Look at the number of compliance tasks that you might have to do. Now, this is what an automation would help solve. So, as I mentioned, we are in India's #1 compliance service provider, having presence across India. And when I say the point of having presence across India, it is one of the most important point when it comes to selecting your automation partner when it comes to compliances. When I talk about automation in compliances, it is not just a software that I'm offering you. Behind the software is a knowledge part. You need to have the right knowledge. You need to understand what is applicable to you. You need a partner who can tell you that. So we as a partner having presence across India and with 22 years of experience, we can pinpoint and tell you this is what is applicable to you, this is what you need to do, and this is how it can be done. And that can be done through our compliance software. So I'm not going to take much of a time. I'm just going to highlight 4 features of the product. There are n number of features that will help you, but keeping in mind the time constraint, I'm just going to highlight 4 features. So as I mentioned earlier, a law is there, but it differs from state to state. So if a law is saying that you have to maintain a certain register, and imagine you having 10 outlets in 10 different states, you have to maintain 10 different registers. How are you going to do that? Very simple. Our system only asks you to upload only 3 data into that: your payroll, your HRMS, and your attendance. Our system has the inbuilt capability to produce those registers in the state-specific format. You don't have to go and start preparing that. System will automatically do it. Just enter in your payroll detail, your attendance, and HRMS. System provides the registry. The next point is your license management. You have so many outlets, you have so many licenses. Keeping a track of that is one point. That means to say having a control over your entire compliances. Now, just tracking them is not enough. In order to apply for a license, there are certain mandatory documents which again differs from location to location, state to state. Our system provides you with the knowledge of what are the licenses that is applicable, when it is going to be renewable, and what are the documents, what is the inputs that you require in order to go for that. So our system addresses that issue in terms of your license management. Next comes your notice management, one of the most critical issues. Whenever a notice is issued to an organization, because of the way we look at it, okay, authority has given me a notice. What is a notice? It might not be. We tend to, because compliance has a nature, because it's not a revenue generation activity, so a notice is issued, we tend to ignore that. But if you ignore or miss out on a notice, tomorrow that notice will get transferred into a summon. And that summon might lead to penal consequences such as imprisonment, closure of business. So a notice management is very important for an organization, especially for an organization having huge spread. How do you efficiently manage that? Our system helps you in efficiently managing a notice, keeping a track of all those notices, keeping a history of all those notices, telling you how to close that notice, providing you with the inputs and the consultation support. Everything can be done through the system. So to sum it up, how does the system help you? These are the few points. It plays a multiple role in terms of telling you what to do, when to do, how to do it. Plus, it also works as a repository for all your compliance-related documents. So tomorrow, even if you have an audit or anything, you do not have to run around compiling all the data. Given access to your auditor to the system, they can virtually do a virtual audit from any place or any location in the world. So in a nutshell, just to put it out, as our motto stands, making India compliant. So here is a system that will help you ease your compliance worries, help you manage your compliance in a very efficient manner, and also help make sure that you're always on the right side of the law when it comes to your compliances. Thank you, everyone. And we have a stand outside, so if you are interested and if you want further information or if you want to discuss how we can assist you in that, please feel free to join us at the stand. Thank you very much.